Hello everybody, Keith here again. In this repotting video, it's another one of my recent purchases. This is Lycaste Cassiopea Wild Peach, and this is the only Lycaste I've got, and it's the only one I've ever had, so this is definitely a shot in the dark. But when I got it, and I think on the video where I showed you when I got them home, there was another pseudobulb on the back of there which was squelchy and horrible, so I had to get that off before I did anything else. I think this is in a ridiculously big pot, so and it's, in any case, this new growth is right up against the edge. I've been having a look on YouTube, and I found one from Orchid Gardening at Duenza, and Rachel repotted in a mix of mostly orchid bark, a fair amount of perlite, and a reasonably small amount of moss. Apparently, I'm saying this is the only Lycaste I've got, and I've had it for a whole week. These are terrestrial orchids, so they tend to like it a little bit more on the moist side. But and they also, a little bit like peonies, they drop the leaves when the pseudobulbs develop. So she said in her video that you shouldn't repot one of these until you've got a decent growth. But I think it's going to have to be potted down, just like the Lycaste that I repotted previously. This one, it was wet when I got it, and it's still wet. It might suit it, it might not, I don't know, but it's not something I'm ever so keen on seeing. I just don't know how plants are going to behave if you do that, so I'm going to have to try and repot it like that. So, having now got this, does not feel very good. It doesn't feel like we've got much by way of roots. There we go. We have got some roots. We had a lot more, but the roots really don't look fantastic. There's not very much coming off this. This one's flowered. That one seems to have flowered, so I can take those old duff spikes off. Luckily, things don't seem to be as bad as they might be. I can't see a lot coming from the new growth, at least not yet. I'll show you in a second when I finish just neatening everything up. I'm not mightily thrilled with the old pseudobulb here, but there's nothing very much else I can do. Never mind, it didn't cost me a lot of money. But what is interesting, I don't know how well you can see this, but the tips are growing. We've got a number of roots with growing tips on, quite a lot with growing tips on. So with a bit of luck, if I get a smaller pot, and I mean that will be silly. You can't put a thing in a pot that size. That is, you'd be absolutely mad. So I am going to just neaten everything up, get rid of all the manky old bits of sheaths and what have you that aren't doing the plant a heap of the good and potentially a fair bit of harm. But I'm not going to get too daft about it either. But I think that's actually better than I thought it might be, but I don't know anything about these things. That just came off. So it obviously can grow a lot of roots. There's things crawling about in here. So this has obviously been done for quite a long time. And obviously a lot of these little white things that creep about in the plant don't do an awful lot of harm, but it's really an indication that this was well ready for a repot. Yep, box absolutely had it, got no strength left at all, so yeah, this was well overdue for a repot. So the question is now, looking at this lot, that's almost all bark with a very small amount of moss in. So if I take Rachel's example and repot it with some perlite and a small amount of moss, we should be alright. But the point is that's in a bark bit bigger than that one, but if it's a, but as I say, this is absolutely rotten. So that's well overdue for a look at. But I think we're all right. I think we're going to be all right. It's got to have a fair sized pot, I think. I don't think I can really, if I put it in like that, with the back bulb really right towards the back, that ought to give me a fair amount of space for this thing to run on. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I want it to drain a lot better than it was doing, but nevertheless, it looks as if it finds its feet, the roots will go. So I am going to put some coarse bark, as always, in the bottom to crock it. I'll put a dust in that, so I'll get down towards the bottom of this bucket. That's got rid of most of it. Right. Next job. Let's mix some of this up. I'm going to use this little blue bucket as a about 3 good handfuls of bark, I think, in there. If I end up with a little bit spare, well, I'll end up with a little bit spare, shan't I? Oh, that's a great sneeze. Oh, yeah. I've got a little bit of moss. It feels like it wants rehydrating actually. Yeah, that's pretty dry. But I really don't want to have masses and masses and masses of moss in here. As I've said many times before, I'm not a great moss enthusiast. It has its place. There are orchids that need a lot more moss in it than others, but in my conditions, for the vast majority of orchids, all it does is cause them to drown the roots. So I am going to start by, I want this fairly high. The roots are looking pretty good really. Up at the top of the pot. It's still rather over potted for my taste, but I prefer it to be in a smaller pot, but I think with it being such a big plant, I've got very little choice except to put it in a pot this size, because otherwise it's going to fall over every 2 minutes. It's looking better. Okay. So I'll do what I did before, which was just wrap some wire around this older pseudobulb. No, not like that, you won't. To try and hold it a little bit. Like that. And give it something to lean on. I think that's quite secure in there. Cool. That makes me cough. I think that'll probably end up working its way down through the bark as the watering goes in. But yeah, that's so that is Lycaste Cassiopea wild peach, repotted on the 24th of September 23. Curious repot, that one, different. I'm a former research engineer at Nottingham University, you may very well know. So learning anything new is always a treat. And it was quite interesting to see how fine the roots are on this actually. I mean, even on this lot where it's all dead from obviously previous growths, they're not the biggest roots in the world, so you know, it wouldn't want a great big hefty coarse bark all the way through. I think this bark might be a good size for it. So that's that. Thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed it just from the learning point of view. I think that should be alright for at least another 12 months, depending what. I mean, if these things develop pseudobulbs that size, we could end up with quite a big, you know, it won't be much more than a year before, or two possibly, before this wants repotting again, but at least we shall hopefully not let it get into the state it was in before, however much it seems to have not minded it very much. So, thank you for watching. I hope you found it as interesting as I have, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Bye for now.